What if the most incredible island vacation you've ever had wasn't halfway across the world? What if it's not in the Caribbean or the South Pacific, but right here in North America? Today, we're showing you the most stunning, surprising, and easy-to-reach island getaways in the US and Canada. These are places with rugged beauty, perfect beaches, and totally unique cultures. But I have to warn you, one of these islands is hiding a secret, and it could change the way you vacation forever. Welcome back to Wanderlust Revealed. If you're someone who dreams of island life, that salty air, the slower pace, that feeling of a total escape, you've come to the right place. Tour of the absolute best islands you can visit right now, all inside the US and Canada. We're talking everything from sun-drenched southern spots to wild northern retreats. These gems are practically in your own backyard, and you're going to want to stick around because that secret I mentioned, it's a game changer. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Wanderlust Revealed. If you're someone who dreams of island life, that salty air, the slower pace, that feeling of a total escape, you've come to the right place. We're about to jump into a tour of the absolute best islands you can visit right now, all inside the US and Canada. We're talking everything from sun-drenched southern spots to wild northern retreats. These gems are practically in your own backyard. And you're going to want to stick around because that secret I mentioned, it's a game changer. Let's get into it. When you picture an island in North America, you probably think of the Florida Keys, a place that's all about cocktails and sunsets. But that's just one piece of a massive puzzle. From the Atlantic to the Pacific, North America has an insane variety of island escapes. One trip, you could be on a windswept coast watching for whales, and the next, you could be biking down a lane where horse-drawn carriages are the main way to get around. You could be digging into world-class seafood on a red sand beach one week and kayaking through ancient sea caves the next. These islands are so much more than just land surrounded by water. They're these concentrated little pockets of culture, nature, and adventure. They give you a chance to disconnect from the mainland, literally and figuratively, and just sink into a totally different rhythm. Whether you're a solo adventurer, a couple looking for a romantic trip, or a family that seriously needs some quality time, there is a North American island out there with your name on it. So let's kick off our tour down south, where the sun is always shining and the water is warm. Our first stop is a classic for a reason, the Florida Keys. This string of tropical islands, just dangling off the southern tip of Florida, is America's little piece of the Caribbean. The 100-mile drive down the overseas highway is an adventure all on its own, a road trip that hops from one vibrant key to the next over a turquoise sea. Key West, the southernmost point, is the star of the show, a town full of colorful buildings, quirky street performers, and a legendary sunset party at Mallory Square. But the real magic is in the water. The Keys are home to the only living coral barrier reef in the continental United States, which makes it a paradise for snorkeling and diving. You can spend your days exploring John Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park, kayaking through mangrove forests, or even visiting a turtle hospital in Marathon. It's a place that perfectly mixes a laid-back island vibe with non-stop adventure. Now, let's hop over to the Pacific, just off the coast of LA, to Santa Catalina Island. For more than a century, Catalina has been the go-to escape for Southern Californians, and it honestly feels like a different world. You cruise in by ferry to the beautiful port of Avalon, a Mediterranean-style village wrapped around a harbor that looks like it's straight off a postcard. Golf carts are how most people get around the charming streets. But Avalon is just where the fun starts. The island's rugged interior is a protected wilderness, home to a famous herd of wild bison that you can see on an off-road tour. For the real adventurers, the 38.5-mile Trans-Catalina Trail is an incredible multi-day hike with breathtaking coastal views. Whether you're zip-lining through a canyon, snorkeling in the clear waters of Lover's Cove, or just kicking back at the Descanso Beach Club, Catalina gives you this unique mix of old-school glamour and raw, natural beauty. Nearby, you'll find the Channel Islands. People call this chain of 5 protected islands the Galapagos of North America, because they're a sanctuary for unique plants and animals you can't find anywhere else on Earth. This isn't a resort destination, it's a trip into the wild. There are no hotels or restaurants, just untouched landscapes and incredible solitude. Each island has its own personality. Anacapa is known for its iconic lighthouse and huge seabird colonies. Santa Cruz, the biggest island, has amazing sea caves you can explore by kayak, including the world-famous Painted Cave. You can hike across windswept bluffs, snorkel through rich kelp forests, and maybe even spot the tiny, adorable island fox. A trip to the Channel Islands takes some planning. You have to get there by boat and pack your own food and water, but the reward is a connection with nature that you just can't get anywhere else. From the wild Pacific, we head inland to the Great Lakes, to an island that seems totally frozen in time, Mackinac Island, Michigan. Sitting in Lake Huron, this island is famous for one very specific rule: no cars allowed. That ban was put in place way back in 1898, and the result is a place with a truly magical feel. The sounds of the modern world are gone, replaced by the gentle clip-clop of horse-drawn carriages and the ringing of bicycle bells. You can spend your days biking the 8-mile loop around the island's shore, exploring the historic Fort Mackinac, or just relaxing in a rocking chair on the world's longest porch at the Grand Hotel. And you can't leave without trying the island's world-famous fudge. You can smell it wafting from more than a dozen shops downtown. Mackinac Island is more than a destination. It's an experience that forces you to slow down, breathe, and get in touch with a simpler way of living. We'll come back to this one. Now, let's head to the northeast, to Mount Desert Island in Maine, home of the incredible Acadia National Park. This is where mountains dramatically meet the sea. The island is a dream for anyone who loves the outdoors, with over 150 miles of hiking trails that go from easy coastal walks to tough mountain climbs. You can hike or drive to the top of Cadillac Mountain, the highest point on the North Atlantic seaboard, to be one of the first people in the U.S. to watch the sunrise. The island's coastline is a masterpiece of granite cliffs and cobblestone beaches, and the water is dotted with sailboats and lobster boats. And speaking of lobster, you can't leave without having a classic Maine lobster bake. Mount Desert Island is the perfect mix of wilderness adventure and New England charm. Let's cross the border and check out some of Canada's most amazing islands, starting on the east coast with Prince Edward Island. Known as PEI, this island is like a storybook come to life. It's famous for its rolling green hills, charming farmhouses, and, of course, those iconic red sand beaches that go on for miles. PEI is all about simple pleasures. It's the home of Anne of Green Gables, and you can visit the places that inspired the famous books. The island is also a food lover's paradise, known for its incredible seafood, especially mussels, oysters, and lobster. You can bike the historic Confederation Trail, which runs from one end of the island to the other, or just find a quiet beach and soak in the gentle, peaceful beauty. PEI has this soul-soothing vibe that sticks with you long after you've left. Jumping all the way to the west coast, we find the stunning Vancouver Island, a huge area of wild nature and vibrant culture in British Columbia. This island is massive, and the variety is just staggering. The west coast is wild and rugged, home to the world-renowned Pacific Rim National Park Reserve, where you can surf huge waves in Tofino or hike through ancient rainforests. The east coast is much calmer, with charming seaside towns scattered along the coast. The capital city, Victoria, feels like a little piece of old England, with its historic buildings and beautiful gardens. But the biggest draw might just be the wildlife. Vancouver Island is one of the best places on Earth for whale watching, with the peak season running from May to October, when you can spot orcas, humpback whales, and gray whales. Whether you're exploring indigenous cultural sites, storm watching in the winter, or eating fresh local food, Vancouver Island is an adventurer's playground. Tucked away in the Salish Sea between Vancouver Island and the mainland are the Gulf Islands, a quiet chain of islands perfect for a peaceful getaway. Two of the most popular are Galiano Island and Salt Spring Island. Galiano is long and thin and has incredible hiking, like the trails at Bodega Ridge Provincial Park, which give you these amazing panoramic views. It's the perfect spot for kayaking, biking down quiet roads, and finding hidden beaches. Salt Spring Island is the biggest and most populated of the Gulf Islands, and it's famous for its amazing art scene. The Saturday market in the town of Ganges is a must-see. It's a lively hub where local artists, farmers, and chefs sell their stuff. Everything sold here has to be made, baked, or grown by the vendors themselves, a rule they call the homespun guarantee. It's a place where you can try farmstead cheeses, check out handcrafted pottery, and listen to live music, all while soaking in the island's famously creative and free-spirited vibe. We've seen islands that offer escape, adventure, and beauty. But I promised you one island had a secret that could change how you vacation forever. And that island is Mackinac Island. The secret isn't some buried treasure or an ancient mystery. It's much simpler, but way more powerful. It's the fact that there are no cars. On the surface, the no cars rule seems like a cute little quirk, but after you spend a day or two here, you realize it's not a gimmick. It completely changes the entire vibe of your vacation. Think about a typical trip. How much of your time is spent stuck in traffic, hunting for a parking spot, or staring at a GPS? On Mackinac, all of that stress just disappears. Your world slows down to the speed of a horse-drawn carriage or a relaxing bike ride. You're not trapped in a metal box. You're out in the open, smelling the lilacs, feeling the cool lake breeze, and hearing the sounds of nature and people talking. This isn't just about relaxing, it's about connecting. You connect more with the world around you. You connect more with the people you're with as you bike side by side or share a carriage tour. It shifts your perspective and makes you realize how much of our lives are controlled by the rush and noise of cars. Mackinac proves that a vacation can be more than just seeing new places. It can be about being in a new way. It reminds you that sometimes the greatest luxury is just slowing down. That's the secret. The idea that by getting rid of one simple thing, you gain so much more. And here's another fascinating island secret for you. While it's not in the continental US or Canada, it's too good not to mention. The title of Shipwreck Capital of the World actually goes to Bermuda. With over 300 shipwrecks scattered in its turquoise waters, some dating back to the 15th century, it's a diver's dream just a short flight away. The clear water and shallow depths of many wrecks make it an underwater museum unlike anywhere else on Earth. Exploring these islands, from the sunny shores of the Keys to the creative hub of Salt Spring, is a great reminder that adventure is often closer than we think. Each one gives you a unique chance to unplug, explore, and see a different side of North America. Thanks for watching Wanderlust Revealed. If you enjoyed this trip through North America's best islands, let us know with a like and share your favorite island in the comments below. Have you been to any of these spots? Or do you have a hidden gem you'd recommend? We'd love to hear all about it. Don't forget to subscribe for more travel secrets and adventures. Whether it's a car-free island that teaches you to slow down, or a rugged coastline that calls to your inner explorer, the perfect island escape is out there waiting. Until next time, keep wandering.